If I were to ask you, what is the best Donkey Kong game? Right? Some of you would say, it would be Donkey Kong Country. Some of you would say, it's Donkey Kong 64, or whatever. I'm here to tell you that the best Donkey Kong game is Jungle Beat on the Wii. Not on the GameCube, because on the GameCube you use the conga drums, and those are not a lot of fun. But why? You're probably asking yourself, okay, Fabio, why the frick is Donkey Kong Jungle Beat the best Donkey Kong game of all time? Well, when you look at Donkey Kong Country or any other Donkey Kong game that isn't, Jungle Beat, it's a form of a Mario clone, right? It's Donkey Kong jumping onto stuff. It's Donkey Kong, jumping on people, right? So how does that differ from like a Mario game? You know what I mean? Like, you take Mario for example, right? Mario's a plumber. He's got to save the princess. He jumps on people, and then he jumps on platforms. So then Donkey Kong Country comes along. It's great. It's different, but it's great. But it still has that same element of platforming, where you gotta jump on stuff, and you can jump on people. Now, I know that Donkey Kong games and Mario games are two completely different types of platformers. You don't need to tell me the nuances between the two of them. Don't get stupid with me. But I'm not trying to discredit Donkey Kong Country, right? It's like the top 3 of my favorite games of all time, Like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to discredit Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country is hands down one of the best platformers of all time. But don't you feel that maybe the Donkey Kong games don't display that sense of power that Donkey Kong has, that brutality, that high impact sexual violence of being a gorilla? You know what I mean? Whenever you play a Mario Tennis or a Mario Golf, like, Donkey Kong is always power. He always hits harder. It's never, you feel like a gorilla should be able to just beat the shit out of everything in his path. You know what I mean? And that is displayed beautifully in Jungle Beat. In Jungle Beat, you beat the shit out of everything. That's why it's called Jungle Beat, because you beat the shit out of everything in the jungle. And this game is the one game that displays that brutality of what a gorilla might feel like. And that's my point. That's why I'm talking about Jungle Beat. Because Jungle Beat shows through its aesthetic and its design the primal force of being a monkey. You know what I mean? Or a gorilla. You don't jump onto platforms anymore. You need to progress. In order to progress, you need to beat the shit out of people to progress. You don't, and that's what should differentiate Donkey Kong from Mario, right? Donkey Kong's like a bad boy. He used to be a bad boy. Now he's a good boy, but he still is his primal. He's still primal. You know what I mean? He's still a fucking, he's a fucking monkey. So the platforming in Jungle Beat is so much different from Mario platforming, and that's what makes it so great. And it's also really satisfying to do all the stuff with the nunchuck and the Wiimote. In order for you to get from point A to point B, your platforms are the enemy, and you need to slap the shit out of them to get to the end. And not only that, but there's a lot of these like quick action sequences where you gotta fucking slap the shit out of shit, and that's cool too. And at the end of it, every boss isn't like, oh, you need to hop on this boss, like you need to step on this boss like 4 times to win. It's not like that. It's, you need to dodge his attacks and then slap the shit out of him. That's the translation of what a monkey should be. And that's what the edge of Donkey Kong should be. Not like this, very conservative monkey jumping on shit, keeping his cool. It should just be an ape that goes, ape shit. Not only that, but do you remember how Donkey Kong used to sound in the N64 era? He used to like sound like this. He used to sound like not even like a brutish animal. And now he just sounds like this, like some kind of fucking sexually deprived man. I really like Tropical Freeze and all these Donkey Kong Country reboots, but it still doesn't quite show that level of primal rage that I like. We need to leave Mario to do the precise platforming, and we need to let Donkey Kong slap the shit out of everybody,